Chapter 11. I ask then, has God rejected his people? Absolutely not. For I too am an Israelite, a descendant of Abraham, from the tribe of Benjamin. God has not rejected his people whom he foreknew. Or don't you know what the scripture says in the passage about Elijah, how he pleads with God against Israel? Lord, they have killed your prophets and torn down your altars. I am the only one left, and they are trying to take my life. But what was God's answer to him? I have left 7,000 for myself who have not bowed down to Baal. In the same way, then, there is also at the present time a remnant chosen by grace. Now, if by grace, then it is not by works, otherwise grace ceases to be grace. What then? Israel did not find what it was looking for, but the elect did find it. The rest were hardened, as it is written. God gave them a spirit of stupor, eyes that cannot see, and ears that cannot hear, to this day. And David says, let their table become a snare and a trap, a pitfall and a retribution to them. Let their eyes be darkened so that they cannot see, and their backs be bent continually. I ask then, have they stumbled so as to fall? Absolutely not. On the contrary, by their transgression, salvation has come to the Gentiles to make Israel jealous. Now if their transgression brings riches for the world, and their failure riches for the Gentiles, how much more will their fullness bring? Now I am speaking to you Gentiles. Insofar as I am an apostle to the Gentiles, I magnify my ministry, if I might somehow make my own people jealous and save some of them. For if their rejection brings reconciliation to the world, what will their acceptance mean but life from the dead? Now if the first fruits are holy, so is the whole batch. And if the root is holy, so are the branches. Now if some of the branches were broken off, and you, though a wild olive branch, were grafted in among them, and have come to share in the rich root of the cultivated olive tree, do not boast that you are better than those branches. But if you do boast, you do not sustain the root, but the root sustains you. Then you will say, branches were broken off so that I might be grafted in. True enough, they were broken off because of unbelief, but you stand by faith. Do not be arrogant, but beware, because if God did not spare the natural branches, he will not spare you either. Therefore, consider God's kindness and severity. Severity toward those who have fallen, but God's kindness toward you, if you remain in his kindness. Otherwise, you too will be cut off. And even they, if they do not remain in unbelief, will be grafted in, because God has the power to graft them in again. For if you were cut off from your native wild olive tree, and against nature were grafted into a cultivated olive tree, how much more will these, the natural branches, be grafted into their own olive tree? I don't want you to be ignorant of this mystery, brothers and sisters, so that you will not be conceited. A partial hardening has come upon Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles has come in. And in this way all Israel will be saved. As it is written, the deliverer will come from Zion. He will turn godlessness away from Jacob. And this will be my covenant with them, when I take away their sins. Regarding the gospel, they are enemies for your advantage. But regarding election, they are loved because of the patriarchs, since God's gracious gifts and calling are irrevocable. As you once disobeyed God, but now have received mercy through their disobedience, so they too have now disobeyed, resulting in mercy to you, so that they also may now receive mercy. For God has imprisoned all in disobedience, so that he may have mercy on all. Oh, the depth of the riches, and the wisdom, and the knowledge of God! How unsearchable his judgments, and untraceable his ways! For who has known the mind of the Lord? Or who has been his counselor? And who has ever given to God, that he should be repaid? For from him, and through him, and to him are all things.
Ng Diyos. Mabagsik siya sa mga nagkakasala, pero mabuti siya sa inyo kung mananatili kayo sa kanyang kabutihan. Pero kung hindi, kayo man ay puputulin din. At kung hindi na magmamatigas ang mga Hudyo kundi sasampalataya, ikakabit din silang muli sa puno, dahil kaya itong gawin ng Diyos. Sapagkat kung kayong mga sanga ng ulibong ligaw ay naidugtong niya sa ulibong inalagaan, kahit na hindi ito kadalasang ginagawa, mas madaling idugtong muli ng Diyos ang mga sangang pinutol mula sa dating puno. Ang Diyos ay maawain sa lahat. Mga kapatid, nais kong malaman ninyo ang isang katotohanan na ngayon ko lang ihahayag sa inyo, para hindi maging mataas ang tingin nyo sa inyong sarili. Ang pagmamatigas ng mga Hudyo ay hindi panghabang panahon. Ito'y hanggang makumpleto lang ang kabuoang bilang ng mga hindi Hudyo na sasampalataya kay Kristo. Pagkatapos niyan, maliligtas ang buong Israel, gaya ng sinasabi sa kasulatan. Magmumula sa Sion ang tagapagligtas. Aalisin niya ang kasamaan sa lahi ni Jacob. Gagawin ko ang kasunduang ito sa kanila sa araw na aalisin ko ang kanilang kasalanan. Dahil tinanggihan ng mga Hudyo ang magandang balita, naging kaaway sila ng Diyos para kayong mga hindi Hudyo ay mabigyan ng pagkakataong maligtas. Pero kung ang pagpili ng Diyos ang pag-uusapan, mahal pa rin sila ng Diyos dahil sa kanilang mga ninuno. Sapagkat ang Diyos ay hindi nagbabago ng isip sa kaniyang pagpili at pagpapala. Dati, kayong mga hindi Hudyo ay suwail sa Diyos, pero kinaawaan niya kayo dahil sa pagsuway ng mga Hudyo. Ganoon din naman, kakaawaan niya ang mga Hudyo sa kabila ng pagkasuwail nila, tulad ng ginawa niya sa inyo. Sapagkat hinayaan ng Diyos na ang lahat ng tao ay maging alipin ng kasalanan, para maipakita sa kanila ang kaniyang awa. Papuri sa Diyos. Napakadakila ng kabutihan ng Diyos. Napakalalim ng kanyang karunungan at kaalaman. Hindi natin kayang unawain ang kanyang mga pasya at pamamaraan. Gaya nga ng sinasabi sa kasulatan, sino kaya ang makakaunawa sa kaisipan ng Panginoon? Sino kaya